call the member for Monaro.
Assistant Speaker, I welcome the opportunity to update the House on the fabulous work that the community of Bombala has done to get the Currawarna Aged Facility reopened. I attended the reopening on the 29th of February, and it was a well-attended event with the committee, with many members of the community and some of the new residents of the facility. Like a lot of people in the community, I was very disappointed when the operators of what was the Currawarna nursing home decided they could not continue to operate the facility and closed with very short notice. It was a decision that meant families had to send elderly loved ones hundreds of kilometres away from their hometown and their friends and family. It was a devastating blow. But the Bombala community refused to accept that blow. They rallied around and they came up with a practical plan to reopen Currawarna as an assisted living facility. They didn't just say to government, you should fix this. They said, we're going to fix it, and then asked the government for help. I'm delighted that prior to being elected as part of the Minns Labor government, I was actually able to secure a commitment of $840,000 to back this community's amazing fundraising efforts. At that stage, they'd raised a phenomenal $160,000. So our commitment was to make up the rest, up to around $1 million that they felt they needed as operating funds for the facility. Since then, they continue to fundraise, and this small community, which has 2,000 to 3,000 residents, managed to raise $340,000 between them. They did amazing efforts with fundraisers from garden parties to bowls days through to a nude calendar featuring some of the local identities, including the chairman of the fundraising committee who happened to be Mr. February, and on display right around the facility with a saddle, I think it was, strategically placed on the opening day. The outcome is a facility which is now a step between people not being able to live at home but not needing high care. It's a facility which will have full-time staff, cooks and so on, and support for people. And its ongoing funding will be from Commonwealth aged care funding, so things like the aged care packages which are available at levels 2 and 3 and so on. So it's a great concept that the community's had. And there was a grey area about how it should be funded. I guess it was probably lucky that this happened during an election campaign and I got the then opposition Treasurer's agreement to actually provide this $840,000 in funding. But it is a bit of a grey area, and it's a model which I'm really keen to see how it works and see how it can be used perhaps as a model for the future of aged care in other rural communities. Because what we do know has happened over the last few years and is that as the aged care standards have increased, as there's been requirements for more nurses in nursing homes, that many rural and regional nursing homes, particularly smaller scale nursing homes, have found it very difficult to actually find that staff and to afford those staff. We know there's shortages right across the aged care sector and the nursing sector, and for many communities that's actually meant that their facilities have had to close down or reduce services because they haven't been able to find those staff. So this model that the Bombala community is operating with Currawarna is one that I'm really looking forward to seeing its success, and I guess the key to that is people using it. So I really want to urge community members, particularly families with elderly parents or elderly members of their families who are finding it difficult to live at home from the southeast region, whether that's from Bombala or from Coomera and Jindabyne, to look at potentially going and having a look at the Currawarna facility with their family members to see whether that's something that they'd like to go in. The advantage of it is that the Currawarna facility is located right next door to the Bombala MPS, which does have high care aged beds, and is going to get another 20 of those beds thanks to funding that's going to be provided by the Minns government and the federal Labor government. And that's something which could provide those step-through opportunities of care in a community with people that they know in the nearby area. So I would urge people to consider that for their elderly relatives. Finally, I want to congratulate the committee behind this effort, Keith Campbell, Karen Brownlee, Rosie Gillespie-Jones, John Murdoch and Zoe Joseph, and also to the many members of the community who organised and participated in those fundraisers that I mentioned earlier. Bombala is really going to be a great community for aged care options. We've also had the Kennedy Homes project which is being built there, which is independent living facilities funded by a bequest So a really great range of options for a small community to offer aged care in our region.
Thank you.